Assalamu alaikum. A warm welcome to everyone. Today we have with us an esteemed educator in the field of political science, Ms. Nazrana Sheikh. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
So let's start with your academic achievements. Could you share with us some of your notable academic achievements in your career?
To begin with, I come from a small village from Kansaulim. But my parents were always interested and I was born in 1970s. But my parents were always, especially my father, always interested in giving me the best of education. Although Kansaulim had schools, I was given admission in a city school in Margao Presentation Convent High School, where I did fairly well. Then after that, my college was higher secondary was Kamal College, where practically in every subject I got scholarship. Okay. Then came my graduation. At graduation level, I begged TB Kuna All Goa level scholarship for standing first in political science. So my journey started this way. Then I went to do my MA in political science, which I completed in 93. In 93, I was awarded gold medal. I was a gold medalist in political science. After that, I did my SET, completed a SET, which is the eligibility test for to be a lecturer in college section. And here I am as a lecturer in political science.
That's very impressive. So, as a lecturer, what are the major challenges that you face?
The challenges today I see, like today I feel the students are not as focused as what they were before. Although they have everything in their hands. I always tell them at the tip of their hand, they have mobile. And mobile is not only meant for social media or WhatsApp or Instagram. They have everything. Somehow I find the students, although majority of them are becoming graduate, till they come to TYBA level, they don't know what they want to do. SY level, if you ask them, what are you doing next year, which subject, they still don't know. So that focus is still not come. Then comes the career.
Impressive indeed. As a lecturer, who has been your primary support system in this journey?
Before I got married, my primary support has been my father. Today I am what I am, it's because of him, especially my education. Because when I got married, I'd already completed all my education. My BA, MA, BEd, and all I had completed. Then I got married. And now my primary support, everything is my husband and my son. Whether it comes to my career, whether it comes to my further studies, my research. So my backbone now is my husband and my son.
So you had a very fascinating journey from your childhood to you becoming a lecturer and your father and your husband being your support system. What are the hurdles which you faced in this journey? What could be the major hurdles?
My journey to where I am has not been smooth and steady. I've had a lot of downs. I began my career as a lecturer in higher secondary. Then from there, I jumped into a college section where, in the name of SET, I was made to, I was terminated my job because I didn't have SET. Okay, you won't believe it. In June, I won't name the institution. In June, I lost my job. And there I had my teachers telling me, Nazrana, you have been let down only because of a net set. Do it, prove it. And they were there helping me out. And July, I answered my set and I proved myself. I cleared my set. But I had already lost my job. And then my baby was on the way. I had my baby. And then I joined another institution. That institution, I joined there. Now see the next institution I joined there as a with fully qualified as set. There too, I was let down by someone who was very, very influential. So, twice in my career, merit was let down and all other factors were important. So that's my journey. But that did not deter me. I continued my journey from full-time to contract basis to lecture basis. I did whatever, but I am where I am today, a successful lecturer.
As an expert in the field of political science, what are the major changes you see in the field of political science in the state of Goa?
And I'll talk about the one positive change. There is, more of social inclusion today because of social awareness. A social inclusion means improving the dignity, ability, opportunity of the disadvantaged people. Today you see a lot of people in the lower strata of the caste system, or doing well maybe because of the reservations. And when it gets to the disadvantage, also women come in the picture. So today women, they also have a lot of political participation, maybe because of the 73rd Amendment, the political participation. When it comes to our community, I'm so thrilled in our college. Number of Muslim girls, graduating are only increasing year by year. So this is where the women are getting empowered. The lower strata is the growth to a certain extent is very inclusive. It is a one positive. But yes, there's a whole lot of negatives also. Communal politics, communal tendencies at the societal level, identity politics in the name of caste, religion, ethnicity, gender. And this is what are fueling more the social division, the fueling divisions and polarizations. They're actually eating and harming the social fabric of Goa and leading to communal disharmony. Yes. The other you can say is environmental degradation is a big problem for Goa. Environmental degradation, unplanned urbanization, okay? Just taking a toll on Goa's environment, where our forests, our water bodies, our rivers are threatened. So unplanned development, waste management is a big problem. Corruption. Corruption is persistent at every level. Yes, yes, there are some of the negative which are there in our politics.
Acha. Thank you for insights. How do you perceive evolution of students' perspective in the field of politics?
I began my journey as a lecturer in 1994. And there was commitment and dedication to the discipline of the earlier generation of students. But today's younger generation are more tilted towards ambition and academic positions. I feel they are more for themselves and less for the students and less for the institutions. This is the students who are want to do well. But otherwise also, generally majority of the students are not really, and I told you, they're not focused. They need to be focused in academics. They need to plan their career. Career planning is not it. And government jobs, for example, in Goa, every selection, a government job is either done through staff selection commission or higher jobs are done through Goa Public Service Commissions. Okay, and this involves English, this involves math, this involves logical reasoning, data interpretation. You just cannot do it on your own.
Yes.
So you require a kind of training. They need to be trained, but problem is, so the students are not aware. Now I launched the course. I had launched the course, a few years back, but due to COVID, I stopped it. I'm a coordinator for a course for, training for competitive exams.
Yeah.
No, I think the response was not as I expected. Just about 25 enrolled. But I think students, what they need to do is really get focused and plan their career.
Considering your experiences and expertise in the field of political science, what advice would you give to political parties who seek to engage youth of Goa?
My advice would be very simple. Political parties should be concerned with a generation of students who have a good sense of civic sense and who are ready to do work for national development in an inclusive manner. That would be the one line I would sum up.
Valuable advice indeed. Do you have any memorable moments from your teaching career which you like to share?
Yes, number of them. Our teachers' memorable event could be when your students do well. Like a student gets to be a gold medalist, stands first in Goa, or who comes back and says, "Ma'am, I've got a job, I've done this, I've excelled in this." Okay, so our students' achievements are my memorable.
Okay. Ma'am, what inspired you to pursue your career in political science?
I always had interest in social science. At school that I studied, I had a teacher who was very, very good in history, and that's how she created my interest and love for history, that is social science, more for history and not so much for geography, but more for history. From there, I went to a higher secondary where teachers in political science and sociology were fabulous, fantastic. As to my good luck and my good fortune, the teacher who was teaching me political science at higher secondary level moved to Habilpur college section. So I had her in higher secondary, I had her in college section throughout. So 5 years, the same teacher taught me political science. So political science was an interest. Political science is an interesting subject. It deals with politics, it deals with current affairs, it deals with day-to-day happenings of the government and politics. That's when I decided, and then I decided to do my MBA, my post graduation in political science, in which I stood first in Goa, became a gold medalist, and yes, there I took my plunge into teaching career.
That's very nice. Ma'am, you had a very fascinating journey through your entire career life, and how your love for the subject of political science. It's quite a remarkable, which we find very less among the people. So, what advice would you give to any student who wants to pursue or is pursuing political science?
Political science is a growing subject. It's a dynamic subject. Well, it's very much popular in India and abroad. You can make a beautiful career in it. As an advice, I would just say one line: keep away from political and social prejudice. That would be my advice to students.
That's a wonderful advice. With that, we will conclude today's conversation with Ms. Nasurana Sheikh.
Thank you very much.